being worried about the Rafah operation, that maybe more than words are needed, and you talked about weapons. Could you maybe clarify? It's very timely because the Dutch government made a decision this morning about F-35 exports. Thank you.
Rosie?
I even may try to answer the first question after Lazzarini.
Okay, Rosie.
Thank you very much. Rosie Burchard for DW. I have a question first for Minister Gennez. Last month you controversially warned Germany against being on the wrong side of history twice. You also said that Germany was being taken in by the Israeli government. You were heavily criticised by several Jewish groups and also by Germany. What was your message to your German colleague today? And then to the Commissioner General, you're trying to restore trust and to convince donors to resume payments. You sacking staff members hasn't worked. Do you think your own personal resignation could be a step toward restoring that trust? Is that something you'd consider? Thank you.
The lady in green? No, you don't want any more? So, okay.
Commissioner General Isabel da Silva from Euronews. I'd like to ask if you have a contingency plan to which operations you would reduce or stop altogether if these audits don't finish in time for you to have the funds. Will these activities be reduced only in Gaza but also in the other regions? And also in your visits to the Gulf states and other partners, are you getting money from other donors to compensate the one that has been suspended? If I may, for High Representative, regarding the weapons that you suggested during the doorstep, that maybe the US should revise the selling of weapons to Israel. Do you have any specific comments from Washington on that? Thank you.
And you.
Merci beaucoup, Andreas Lark, Télévision Suisse. Je vais poser ma question pour Monsieur Lazzarini en français. Des voix s'élèvent pour réclamer votre démission, pas seulement en Israël, mais même dans la politique suisse. Pensez-vous à démissionner, Monsieur Lazzarini?
Okay, now you have the floor.
Thank you. Well, I mean, there have been twice. No, I have no intention to resign. We have one government calling for the resignation. We might have other voices, but I haven't heard any other government. And for the time being, as long I do believe we can continue to make a difference, I will continue to do this. Now, on the question of investigation. Well, in the discussion I had today with the minister, I reminded that since the beginning of the war, we had more than 200 incidents involving UN premises. Hundreds of people have been killed. Thousands have been injured. We vacated the north on the 12th of October, and since we have heard that many of our installations were either used by Hamas fighters or used by the Israeli army. I do believe, and here we talk about United Nations premises, places which were supposed to shelter people fleeing the conflict. Yes, I think that at the end of this war, we need an independent board of inquiry to look into all these allegations, whether we talk about a tunnel underneath, whether we talk about targeting or involuntary targeting of premises, or the use for military use of our premises. That's also something we collectively should be outraged by a blatant disregard of not only UN installation, but we have seen the same with hospitals, we have seen the same with the other public, I would say, places, which normally should be protected by IHL. Was there another question that I forgot?
The contingency plan for when you stop having enough funds, which operations will stop?
You know, our mandate is to provide human development or education and primary health to Palestinian refugees across the region, in Lebanon, in Jordan, in Syria, in the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and in Gaza. We cannot say that Lebanon is more important than Syria, as vice versa. So all the activities, in fact, will be somehow impacted. So we are not talking about only Gaza, but we are also talking about the impact in neighboring country, and we also know how shaky the situation can be in some of the neighboring country. And this is the reason why I keep saying we are not just dealing with a technical issue. Far from that, consequences can go far beyond that and can also be of a political but also stability and security nature.
HRVP.
Look, my job is to try to unite member states. My job is not to blame and shame, saying, someone said, others agree, who is on the right side, who is on the wrong side. My job, a difficult one by the way, is to try to put all member states together in a common position. And I will not contribute to show up the divisions among us, which are quite clear. Quite clear, because when the moment comes to vote in the United Nations about the ceasefire, I think 17 or 18 voted in favor, 2 voted against, others abstained. So it's clear that there are different approaches, and about the funding of UNRWA, also there are different approaches, radically different. Some member states, I will not name them, said, I will increase my support. Another says, I cancel my support. Another says, I will not cancel it, but I will not launch new until clarification is being done. So I have to manage these polycentrical approaches among member states. But if I have to take the common ground, if I have to look at the majority feeling, I think that the majority clearly is understanding the fact that there is no alternative to support the Palestinian people than what we have in place, and has been in place for 70 years or more, with Hamas and without Hamas. So I cannot imagine a magic wand to say that tomorrow someone will come and provide the schools to have 1 million young people. We provide food to 7 million people. Come on. So we have to have on the other hand, it's true that the Israeli government, she doesn't hide his will of cancelling the work of UNRWA. It's not a secret. Huh? It's not a secret. What I'm saying that allegations are allegations. And the first year of the law school, in the first year of law school, you are being taught that if someone is making an accusation, it's up to him to prove it. Not the accused, but the accuser. And by the time being, I haven't received any proof of this allegation. Maybe it's true, maybe not. But the fact that since there is an allegation, people have to blindly believe the allegation is against the elementary basis of the law. And we are preaching all the time the rule of law. Well, I think I'm not going to be accused of anti-Semitism for doing that. But that's evident. That's evident. In spite of that, UNRWA has taken tough measures. But if Palestinian lives matters, and certainly matters, then we have to provide assistance. They have to provide assistance. And about the story of, look, I don't pretend to be in charge of the foreign policy of the US. I have enough with the foreign policy of the European Union. But let's be logical. How many times have you heard the most prominent leaders and foreign ministers around the world saying, too many people are being killed? President Biden said, this is too much on the top. It's not proportional. Well, if you believe that too many people are being killed, maybe you should provide less arms in order to prevent so many people being killed. It's not logical? And in 2006, in the war against Lebanon, the US already took this decision. They already took the decision to pause the supply of arms to Israel because Israel didn't want to stop the war. Exactly the same thing that happens today. Everybody goes to Tel Aviv, begging, please, don't do that. Protect civilians. Don't kill so many. How many is too many? which is the standard. But Netanyahu doesn't listen to anyone. They are going to evacuate. Where? To the moon? Where are they going to evacuate these people? So if the international community believes that this is a slaughter, that too many people are being killed, maybe they have to think about the provision of arms. And by the way, today a court in Netherlands has ordered to the government to stop exporting the spare parts of the F-35 fighters to Israel in order to be sure that the International Court of Justice rule is being implemented. So I don't know, every member state is the owner of its foreign policy, but it's a little bit contradictory to continue saying that there are too many people being killed, please take care of people, please don't kill so many. Stop saying please and doing something.
Okay, I think, Minister Gennez.
Well, the Belgian presidency wants to be an honest broker, and I think that's the role we play today. We discussed with all member states in a good atmosphere. And as a minister, I entered only like more than a year ago, but I tend to discuss upon facts, and that's what I will continue to do so. And when I see serious infractions on international humanitarian law, I will speak out. And when I see that infrastructure paid by the international community on the West Bank in Gaza has been demolished, I will speak up. And I think that's our obligation to do so, being a minister, and also to bring the discussions to the table inside the European Union.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a nice afternoon.